as I'm concerned, this is a pretty big one, and that's for a couple of reasons. This is kind of the first official, like, drive, together at least, of the Mustang since it's now been tuned and I got everything sorted. So, quick backstory, we got the car tuned. The rear end that I was using for Melissa's car actually had a bent axle in it. My stuff was all getting powder coated, my brakes and my diff cover, so all that's done. We finally got that back, and I put the rear end back together, but I put new axles in this one so that I could use my old ones in her rear end, and everything's back in the car finally. The suspension is proper. I did drive it like, I don't know, I think like 3 times with the borrowed rear end and the brakes and stuff, and it was just wonky. Like, I tried to get into it once or twice, and the drive shaft would hit the safety loop, so it was fucking scary because it sounded like the drive shaft blew up since the safety loop would bounce around and whatnot.
Because you know how that sounds.
I don't know. It sounded, oh, all right. Smart ass. So this is our first official drive now that everything is 100% back in the car. I did give it a small rip last night because I was just way too tempted to kind of feel out, like, knowing that the car is 100% finally. So I got a little taste, but it was like 40 degrees, like weirdly cold for May. It definitely spun a little on the tap end, which was interesting. This is going to be like our first impressions and reactions, more so for her at this point, I guess. But it is going to be mine too, now that it's sunny out, the air's nice and cool. So it's kind of like moose weather at this point. Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm excited. So we're going to give it a couple rips in a little bit, kind of get some initial reactions. Melissa's really fucking scared. She shouldn't be, because what we're doing right now is the 93 tune, so we were making about 700 or so. Yeah, I mean, that's about 100 more than we had before. But what I've noticed with the cams is that the power band is totally different. So down low, it actually almost feels slower, I think. And then I think it also might have been slowed down because I had an issue with the brakes where the pad jumped out of the fucking bracket and wedged itself between the rotor and the caliper, so the rear brake was like, so I think that might have been slowing the car down too. So I don't know, it was just all over the place. So the car's legit now. We're gonna fucking send it. Okay, here we go. Ready, and 3, 2, 1, go! So, first impressions. See, it just, like, it feels the same down low, but right at the end.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't taper like it used to. It just, it starts going faster, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh.
But it's not overwhelming.
To you.
Well, you'll get used to it. That was the first time you felt it.
I got freaked out because there's like water on the road, and I was like,
yeah.
Oh my god, is that a big Okay, well, I'm glad your brakes work.
Yeah. That's why we made sure they were good yesterday. See, it's not that crazy.
It feels different when you're in this seat.
Well, I know, but with the windows up, there's less like noise and stuff too, so it's like not as like sensory overload. You didn't feel like it almost felt slower that time,
No. It doesn't feel slower.
I don't think it feels that much faster. Like it does, but it doesn't. I mean, it's faster. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. But like, does it seem like it sounds a little different?
Oh yeah, the blow-up valve you were talking about. Yeah, that was a good imitation.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely a little different. Like, I don't know, because I guess the wastegate or whatever, but I think it's a cool sound.
Yeah, I think it sounds pretty cool.
Alright people, so ran out of memory card the other day, and ended up getting kind of dark out anyway, so we are now a few days later, but we kind of didn't do anything else after those few pulls you saw. So we're giving the car a finishing rip, if you will. I'm gonna do like a second gear pull this time so that we kind of get like that low end sensation. Wow, dude, the GoPro has got great lighting on it. Ready? Yeah, be short. There's not much road, but. We definitely shot a flame on that 3-4. I just kept it to the floor because, like,
I know, I could tell. I was like, okay, you're not gonna let off a little bit?
Nah, I mean, it's second gear, it's controllable. Ready? Start like hitting home and you're like,
yeah! Woo! My heart dropped when you kept going. I was like, oh.
You're not used to the fourth gear when it pulls through. It's usually kind of like tapers a little bit.
No!
God, that's so pretty.
I know.
Third gear kind of was like, whee!
Oh man.
That's good though. That was 700. So like that's where you're really feeling is that fourth gear because you can actually enjoy it.
How fast did you go?
I think it was the usual fourth gear, and actually I'm stopping slower because my RPM limit. So I probably
I kept seeing red.
I probably hit, but that's about it. I guess I did.
You guess you did.
Yeah.
You clapped.
You're right. I did.
Oh my
Oh man. All right. That's gonna be fun now that I can actually enjoy it. I had to dial myself back so much on like without the watt box because like I haven't driven without it in so long. So like I'm like, how do I shift normal? Because I'm used to letting off the gas. You gotta admit, it felt a lot faster with me driving normal.
I'm scared for E85.
I'm pumped. It's probably gonna be a little sketch. Knowing like how it pulls on the top RPMs, I don't know. Hair's a little wild, huh?
Yeah.
Car's a little wild.
You're a little wild.
Yes. So first impressions.
It's a lot. It feels the same, but just like faster. I don't know.
Yeah. It feels the same. I would agree.
It feels the same, but like
right on the top end.
The top end just does not stop.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you.
I feel like you could have kept going, and it would have been like.
Yeah, that's what E85 is really going to kind of shine on because we're not cut at 7,200. I go all the way. Well, not yet, but I can. Once we have the final tune, we'll be able to take it to 8,000. So that's what's going to really be wild, I think, is we're going to have that whole 1,000 more RPM.
It's a street car.
It is a street car.
This is not a street car.
It's a wild one. It's a hybrid. That's why we have the 85 tune, right? Because that's more for the racetrack, even though I'm going to probably run it on occasion on the street. Because, like, why not? You got to see what it's all about. No, I mean, the 93 is what's great, is we can literally take it anywhere still, and it's no different than it was before. So far, I'm definitely really happy and impressed with the motor. There's certainly a little bit more like lagging on the low RPM. Like, remember the other day we were in 5th gear, and like I floored it, and we were at like 3,000 RPM, and you could tell because the motor was like, but it felt slow. Like, it didn't have anywhere near the sensation of power. So that whole power curve is shifted, which you guys, I mean, saw on the dyno sheet. It's at 4,000 the cams roll in, and that's when like the car is kind of about the same, and then 6,000 to 7,000 or 6,000 plus, that's when it really shines. So I'm definitely happy with it so far. It's got less down low, but it doesn't feel like it's struggling when like cruising around and stuff. So first impressions.
Definitely not. It's not struggling at all.
No, I mean like 6th gear. When you're like low RPM, like if you go to like give it a little gas and you want to pass someone, you don't have that sensation of like, I have to downshift to be able to pass. Like, it still has enough oomph in it. Because I was talking to someone and they said that they had the stage 3 blower cams and it was a dog down low, like to the point where they didn't feel like they'd be able to pass anyone on the highway. So I mean, maybe it was the setup, but so far with everything, like, it feels fairly good in terms of like the combination of parts. And I think even Adam did give us like a thumbs up on the parts combination. Like he said, it seems like it's a pretty happy setup. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I know she's already like, this is a lot, but stay tuned for E85, guys, because that's just going to be wild. So if you guys are new to the channel, definitely hit the subscribe button so you can stay tuned for more content. If you aren't aware, we've got Project Bombshell. That's now the new focus, now that this is kind of, you know, done.
It's done. No more. That's what he says.
It is what I said. Can you believe it? I don't know. It's coming from a car person. So stay tuned for Project Bombshell. It's going to be awesome. We have seen some renderings. The car is going to look phenomenal when it's done. We might even be getting it into paint like this weekend, which is crazy. A lot sooner than we expected. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely hit the like button as well. And yeah, I think that's going to do it. So we will catch you in the next one. Peace out.